Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Folks, I think it's becoming more and more obvious what's happening in Europe is no longer just a problem. It's not a political issue. This is a full-blown crisis. You know, we've been talking and warning for years that mass immigration policies, uncontrolled illegal migration, this fake asylum scam nonsense that basically enables military-age men to invade the nation, well, it's not just going to have a detrimental effect on culture. No, much worse than that, it's going to destroy public safety. You know, the woke establishment tells you that crime isn't a crisis, that immigration is only positive, diversity is our strength, and that if you complain about it or if you identify any issues, any consequences of the policy, that you're somehow a bigot or a racist. But you know what? I think it's time to flip the script on these Democrats and these woke lunatics across the Western world. How about you guys tell that to the young girls who are being harassed in the streets? Tell that to the families who are losing their daughters. Tell that to the vulnerable people who are falling victim to the most heinous of crimes. The people living in countries where the most horrific crimes on Earth have skyrocketed by the hundreds of percent in just 2 decades. It's time to put the spotlight once again on what's going on in Europe. I got a viral video coming out of the UK that I want to show you guys, as this clip has now sparked a massive conversation. It's time to give these naive leftoids a serious reality check as to what their idiotic policies actually bring. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so I first want to start off with this viral video. We've got 2 young girls in the UK here. I believe one is 12 and the other is 14. It seems the 2 girls got confronted in a park by a group of older migrant men, and things get extremely heated as the 12-year-old girl starts, as it seems, defending herself against these men. She ends up confronting them with a knife and an axe, saying, "Don't touch me," in sheer self-defense. Take a look.
You don't dare!
Yes, you have a knife.
You don't dare fucking drop me! You're bad
Why are you fucking with
You're
us?
fucking kid bashers!
Show the knife. Show the knife.
Get
Show the
away from her!
Show the knife. Show the
Don't
knife.
touch her!
That's
Touch
it,
me.
that's
Do whatever
it.
you
Show the
want to
knife.
me. Don't touch my little sister!
Show the knife. That's it.
Don't touch my little sister! She has 12! Where's her touching me? She has 12 and you just battered me, mate! Where's her touching me?
Yeah, show the knife. Maracha.
Don't touch her! Don't to me! Don't touch her!
You know, obviously, this clip is identifying a very clear issue. In many places across Europe, young girls aren't even safe in parks anymore. The moment is obviously terrifying enough, but you know what's even worse? Following this viral encounter, we're now learning that authorities are apparently charging the young girls instead of investigating the alleged perpetrators. Just imagine that. The possible victims in this scenario are being treated as the criminals. And that right there tells you all that you need to know about the priorities of the political class. Protect migrants at all cost, even if it means throwing literal children under the bus. And this moment, of course, has sparked a conversation, which then got taken to a whole new level, as right after this incident goes viral, we get another story coming out of Holland, where a 17-year-old girl was stabbed to death while calling the police. She was supposedly being stalked while riding her bike home, and the man arrested in the case is, yet again, a quote, asylum seeker who, get this, had already RAPE'd a woman days earlier. And you might think, well, these are just anecdotes, but no, this is not some isolated incident. This is the new normal in progressive woke Europe. And let's really put that into perspective. Let's lean on the data, because following these 2 stories, people online started to do some research and take a look at the data. And then, of course, as happens very often on X, staggering numbers then get retweeted by Elon Musk. And holy frickin' moly, is this just shocking. Here we have RAPD crime reports from the year 2000 to the year 2023. And just look at the staggering increase in England and Wales from 8,593 in the year 2000 to now 68,000 in 2023. We also see similar increases in Germany and France. And then, of course, the data coming out of Poland will address that in a second here. But obviously, these numbers are totally shocking. But of course, we're on the internet, so we can't take anything at face value. And so what I did was I double checked. I pulled up the official sources myself. I did an AI deep dive to make sure this data was correct. And look at the analysis. I ran the numbers from the year 2000 to 2024 instead of 2023, and it seems to line up pretty close. Oh, and I also included Sweden because, well, pretty self-explanatory. But the numbers pretty much line up. The only significant inconsistency were the numbers from Germany, but as I did a little bit of research, I found that they have actually different categories depending on the seriousness of the case, and when you look at all SA offenses combined, the number's over 100,000. But the headline number is not the most important thing. What we have to focus on are the increases. In roughly 2.5 decades, the increases in these police reports goes from anywhere from 100% increase to over 700%. That is wild. I mean, it's almost unbelievable. I mean, we're talking epidemic levels, and you might be wondering, well, what changed? I don't think it's some mystery. These are the countries that opened the floodgates to mass migration. And of course, what we saw was overwhelmingly young military-age men from countries, in many cases where the culture is different, where women don't have the same rights, where violence against women isn't punished to the same degree. And clearly we're importing that culture, and now our daughters are paying the price. And that really seems to be the dynamic here. If you've done any research into the topic, you'll learn very quickly, especially if you delve into the whole Pakistani grooming gang scandal in the UK, that these individuals are not targeting women and girls from their own community, but rather targeting young local European girls. I've heard many people allude that apparently this is acceptable in their culture. They're basically viewed as infidel. And so we have a massive scandal here. We got thousands of young girls who are being drugged, RAPED'd, abused. And the craziest part is that it all seems to be covered up by the police and politicians who don't want to tackle the issue. They don't even want to go there because they don't want to appear, quote, racist. It's insane. You're not racist for wanting to protect young children. And the people who are screaming racism are literally allowing the mass abuse of young girls to continue. And clearly there's a strong effort to silence anybody who dares sound the alarm. Well, I am going to sound it. This is a crisis. This is an epidemic. And it's all wrapped in the woke shield of tolerance and inclusivity and diversity.
How old are you?
25.
25. I'm only 15.
Okay, good.
That's not good.
I want your phone.
No, sorry.
What's up?
You don't do this in this country. It's you go to jail if you do this.
Finding a good husband. You walk porn on the street. You seek our generation.
Can you leave this,
Yes,
please?
I'm filming you.
You're talking to 12-year-old girls.
No, they're not 12 years old, they're 22. You are a piece of
Folks, the numbers are catastrophic. Catastrophic. But the woke left and the globalist left only cares about virtue signaling, their cheap labor, their little globalist projects, their social experimentation of creating a post-national world. Well, very obviously, the cost is blood, and I hope this is a wake-up call for people. If America follows the same path, if Democrats get their way on mass fraudulent asylum, on open borders and unlimited, unvetted migration, well then these charts won't just be a European problem. They'll be an American problem too. And that's what I've been saying for a long time, that Europe started this. They're like 10 years ahead of us. They are the warning sign. We ought not to follow that same path. The numbers are unbelievable. And that should serve as a freaking wake-up call. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.